Welcome back to Beats by the Pound. Nate the Professor along with Connex sitting in studio. So, what advice could you give to someone that's, there's a lot of, I don't want to say wannabe, but wannabe rappers at Northwest. What advice can you give to them?
I mean, first and foremost, I'm a wannabe rapper from Northwest. Like,
yeah.
I haven't really done
in a sense,
too
everyone
much,
is, right?
Yeah. But I guess my keys to success, and I am by no way successful at all, but man, first and foremost, just be yourself. Don't go in there if you're a guy that grew up in a town of 2,000 like I am. Don't go in there trying to be gangster. Don't go in there trying to talk about big city life when you don't know what that's like. Double A, I'll say the same thing, man. Double A is from a town of like 50, an unincorporated town from Kansas.
Yeah.
He's not going to go in there talking about being a gangster. He's not going to go in there talking about the urban lifestyle. So just be yourself. Have a backup plan. That's why Double A and I are in college. Like, we have a backup plan.
Right.
Being a musician, especially in hip hop where it's so competitive, like, you have to have a backup plan. You can't just drop out of school. There's so many people that I've seen just drop out of school and think that this rap thing's gonna like make them millions of dollars. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than
I agree.
becoming the next big thing in hip hop.
Because there are a lot of guys with talent, but just not everybody gets opportunities they need.
It's the same thing with basketball. It's the same thing with any sports or acting or anything. You can be so great at basketball, or you can be so great at Northwest for football, for example. There's so many great guys that have played football here. That doesn't mean they're going to go to the NFL and be the next great football player. You gotta have a backup plan, and so
there might be a better chance that you make it to the NFL than you do as a hot rapper. You can name them on fingers and toes about like who's really good rappers and really big. You can't. So like that's what I was trying to tell Navi last week. We had Navi in, and he's like looking to make it big. He's looking to get his name out there, and I was just saying, you can't expect too much, especially up here in Northwest. You don't get a whole lot of exposure. You got to just the approach nowadays is like mixtapes. Yep. Drake kind of just showed you that. Like,
yeah.
It's all about the mixtapes. You can't just go out and sell 10,000 albums.
No, not
gold
at all.
In 1 week and not, there's nothing. You gotta have backup plans.
It sounds cliche, but you got to hustle. You got to be on your grind. You got to put out as many singles, or not singles, but you got to put out as many tracks as you can. Do your mixtape thing, and start networking and send those mixtapes to big guys. That's what I've been trying to do for the last few months, like since November, when I kind of had the resurrection or whatever in my career, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But like I said, I've been technically doing this for 9 years, but really in the last like 2 or 3 months is when I've really been focusing
serious
and networking. And it sounds stupid because hip hop is such a competitive genre of music and such like a hardcore grimy style of music, but just be a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like when you're networking, go into it like you don't know anything, and that's exactly what I've done. And I've tried to shout out to Dutch Newman from Kansas City, man. This dude's been helping me out, telling me what I'm doing right, telling me what I'm doing wrong. Dutch Newman, Joe Cool, they're really good friends with like Irv the Phenom and Tech Nine from Kansas City, and I'm just trying to get in with that crowd and just talk to veterans and see what they've been doing, and taking some of that criticism and taking it with a grain of salt, and just trying to be the best live performer that can be, because anybody can go into their living room, anybody can go in their basement and record tracks and pretend they're a rapper.
Right.
But when you're getting in front of 200, 300 fans, like I was in Kansas City,
start shaking a little bit.
You start shaking, and it's how you perform in front of those 200, 300 fans that's really going to set you apart from the guys that are making tracks on GarageBand in their living room or their bedroom.
So you feel you have to have
basement.
a sort of presence about yourself when you're on that stage.
Definitely.
It's so much different.
Hip hop is so much about an image, and I think how Double A and I have excelled is we're just being ourselves. We're doing what it is that we got to do, but we're not changing who we are. We know we're small town guys that just like making hip hop music, enjoy hip hop music, and want to preserve the lyricism in hip hop music. We're not out to make party tracks. We're not out to sell 1 million records. We're out to just make great music that great fans are going to listen to.
And if so, it so happens that you go out and sell 1 million records along the way, and then it's a nice bonus.
That would be great, but
that's not your career. That's not your life goal.
Like I said with the beef and the battle rapping and the diss tracks, I'm not going to compromise who I am just to get popular. That's not me. It's not me to talk about,
because that's not. Rapping is what you do. Rapping is not who you are, right?
Exactly. For me, it is. For some guys, rapping is who they are. I could come out here and I could say, hey, my name is, I could shake hands with the president of the university when I interview him for stories for like Tower Yearbook, because that's where I work, is awesome. And say, my name is Connex, I'm the best rapper alive. I could do that,
yeah, but you don't.
That's stupid. So I'm Austin Buckner, and I just happen to do some Connex stuff on the weekends. That's all it really is.
That's what I like to hear, and that's good motivation and good advice for any young and upcoming rappers.